Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Square Enix Bring Arts Final Fantasy VII Sephiroth, which is part of this line that really blows. It's way overpriced and they're not good figures, but I had to get Sephiroth because I wanted to review it and I wanted to add it to my Smash collection since I got Cloud. Figured, what the heck? Can't be that bad, right? It's worse than Cloud. Kinda by a lot. Oh man, it's not good. So anyway, let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, before we get into the figure, I'll show you my package. No window. Definitely don't want to show you the real figure. They'll just show you the photo which looks best with really dark lighting. Oh, bad packaging. It's really not good packaging. No window is lame. So lame. Not good packaging if you want to keep it on the card. I always say that, but I mean in the box. Okay, so here's the figure. Man, disappointing. Alright, this guy stands about 6 inches at the top of his head, not counting the hair. That's going to be about 15.5 centimeters, so he's not super big. Here he is up against a Marvel Legends Darwin. Definitely not meant to be in the same scale, but you could fudge it if you really wanted to. Here he is up against Cloud. I didn't realize he was supposed to be that much taller than Cloud, but I have played 0 Final Fantasy games. I've always just kind of followed him passively, so I could be wrong. He's probably accurate since it is a Square Enix thing. But then again, I don't trust them to make figures at all, so who knows. Anyway, if for some reason you happen to end up wanting this, I'll put a link in the description below. You can get one, but I don't advise it. I'm going to tell you right up front. Let's talk about the aesthetic. It's bad. It's not well done. The paints are all over the place. His pants are different colors than the top part of his pants. The jacket is articulated but doesn't really pose, and it doesn't really connect up here, so it's just gappy and ugly. The joints on his arms alone, I think, are enough of a reason to not buy this thing. Did they need to use that size joint for his elbow? Holy crap, there's more joint sticking out of the limb than there is in the limb. Now, of course, when you pose it, it's not as noticeable, but also, still kind of is. He looks like a transformer. And we'll get to the articulation later, but I want to show you how tiny the ones are in his ankles. They couldn't be smaller, really, and they would have benefited significantly from being larger. Yet they put the most giant joints ever in his arms. Yeah, it doesn't look good. The hair is painted well enough with a little bit of like a silvery shimmer. The details are fine. Like, it's not purely bad, but it's certainly not good enough. These things are way too expensive for what they are. Aesthetically, it is just barely passable. I don't like it, and I'd have to go back and check, but his legs make up like 3/4 of his body. So maybe that's how he is in the games. I don't remember him ever looking like that, but I'll check, and you guys can let me know. There's purple shading throughout on the black, so it's like, it's not horrible, but it's pretty horrible. If you know this line, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't know the line, just stay away. If this is your option to be an entry point, don't do it. Stay away from this line. It's not worth it unless you are such a diehard Final Fantasy fan and you don't have any other options, then I guess, but no. Alright, so aesthetically, it's going to get a 6. It's passable. It's okay, but nowhere near good enough for the money. For accessories, oh, by the way, he doesn't have a wing. I thought for sure they were going to include a wing as an accessory, but at least as an accessory, but they didn't, so he doesn't have his wing. Don't like that. So for accessories, we do have some alternate hands. Those are fine. Nothing special. They're there. And then we get his sword. As far as real accessories, that's it. You do get a display stand, but it's very small and not that useful. 5 out of 10 for accessories. You couldn't even give a slash effect or something. Not even close to good enough for the money. For the articulation, the hair is just all one fixed piece, so you can move the head around, but not as much as you might like to, and the way it's connected is awkward. It's almost like a Figma. The neck is on a ball peg, but it doesn't move well, so it's very basic. The shoulder pads, luckily, are not connected to the arms or the torso. They do move independently, and they have a little bit of a hinge, so they can get out of the way as they need to, so that's alright. Raising his arm, yeah, that's it. Man, you know, back when they were doing the Play Arts figures and I was reviewing them all the time, I was thinking these figures are good enough, back when the prices were low, but they were not getting any better, and the prices kept going higher and higher and higher. And now they make smaller figures for ridiculous prices, and they're even worse. It's just weird. You get a cut joint for the bicep swivel, which is just ugly and lazy. You already saw the horrible elbow joint, like decent range, of course, but it looks like a transformer. The wrists are on really loose hinges. Not good. The torso, nothing up here, just this one ball peg, which works well enough. Like if you wiggle it around, it does get to where it needs to go, so that's okay. This is a soft or a floating piece, sort of. I mean, it is, but it doesn't really go anywhere. So this piece here, that's the belt piece. And then these are articulated on little ball hinges, but they're underneath this, so they can't really do anything. You can't get them to where they need to go to look good, and you can't pose them to be dynamic. So that sucks. You have this little tiny crotch piece in here, which doesn't ever go where it's supposed to go. So you just see the joints, and they're really, really loose joints. His hips are so incredibly floppy loose. Especially with these giant legs, it's not a good... They just pop right off without any effort at all. Laziest figure I've reviewed in a long time from a real company, not like Hasbro or something like that. You do get... Oh my gosh. Is it a thigh swivel, or did they just cut that? It's not even a thigh swivel? Okay. Oh, it is a thigh swivel. It was just stuck. So you get a thigh swivel, I guess. That's a really weird way of doing that. So strange. Alright, and then for our knees, the knees are okay, they're hidden well enough, but they're ugly once you pose them. But they get decent range, but they're also really loose. And then for the ankles, they're functional, but they would be more functional if the joint wasn't absolutely tiny. Yeah, they're not even that functional. You can't even rotate them for an ankle rocker. Toe hinge is ugly, but acceptable. Yeah, it's just not good, guys. This would be good for like 25 bucks. This is not a good release. It's not a good enough figure at all. Very, very disappointing. Articulation's going to get a 4 out of 10. Posing this guy is going to be basically impossible. It's just not going to work. This line, I don't understand what they're doing. Other than knowing that people are going to potentially buy things because they don't have a lot of options. It's not good. I really don't even want to own this to put it in my Smash collection. Since it doesn't even match the Smash design, what am I going to do with this? It's so bad. Okay, final verdict on this. Don't buy this line. If you really, really, really want to get Cloud, like he's just barely passable enough, sort of, if you don't buy the NFT version, they're just way overpriced, and they're kind of garbagey. So I'm going to give it a final rating of just don't buy it, 0 out of 10. But if you are going to buy it, I'll give him a 4. It's really not pleasant. It's really, really unpleasant. And I didn't want this to be a negative video, but it turns out it is because it's really bad, and it got worse as I was looking at it up close. So there it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, but that's it for me. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.